Okay, so you've built your regression model. You've even created dummy codes to handle categorical variables. You've been able to account for education, for region. You've got a model here with a good R-squared that you're feeling really happy about. It's time to put this to good use. We want to create a prediction calculator in Excel that can use these regression weights to predict whether or not someone's going to purchase a bike. So here's how we're going to do that. Let's create a new sheet. Call it prediction. Well, you can call it whatever you want. Prediction calculator, okay. I'm going to take each of these variables that we're going to use to make the prediction and put them in here. I'm going to change some of them. Marital, status, gender, income, children, commute, distance, homeowner, education, and I don't need all of these. Delete, then region. Okay, expand this out. We're going to, let's make this a little bit bigger so maybe a bit easier for you to see. We're going to include, we're going to make this look really nice here. Bottom, border. This is going to be a total prediction. I'll bold that, move it over. Let's give it a bunch of borders here. All right, marital status. So they can be single or married. We're going to create a bunch of lists that we're going to use to create drop-down boxes in here. So what I want you to do is put the prediction for single and married right here. Where do we get that from? Well, come back here to our regression output and marital status numeric. This is the prediction when marital status is equal to 1, which means married, and 0 means single. So I'm going to copy this, come back here to my prediction calculator, and next to married, I'll paste that. Single be a 0. What I need to do now is put a drop-down box in here that gives you options for single or married. The way we do that is we leave our cursor right here, go to data, data validation, and then I'm going to change the criteria of which values will be allowed in there from any value, which is the default, to I only want to allow them to choose from a list. So that way we keep our data clean and working, and I'm going to leave these checked. The source I'm going to set equal to this list right here. So I'm selecting single and married together. Hit OK. Now I have this fancy little drop-down box. So let's start here one piece at a time and build out the prediction here at the bottom. So we know that to get the prediction from the prior video that we've got to start with the intercept, or we have to include the intercept. So I'm going to say here that the prediction is going to equal, and start by going back and clicking on the intercept. Actually, you know what, I could just even copy that value in because that value is not going to change, but whatever, I'll just include the intercept like that. Start by hitting enter. Now if I were to select single or married, let's say I select married, what I need to do is update this so this includes the regression weight for married. So let's use an if statement. This is going to get pretty long and ugly. So I guess I'll do it here at the end. So I'm going to add to the intercept this if they're married, this if they're single. How should we do that? Well, there's a bunch of different ways. Let's do an if statement. So we'll say if this value equals that value right there, then include that value. Otherwise, include 0, done. Oh, I forgot one of my parentheses. It'll add it for me automatically. Yep, go ahead. So back up here now. If C3 equals married, whatever they put in this cell equals whatever this cell it is, grab the value of this cell right there. Otherwise, grab the value of this cell right there. Awesome. So if I change this to single, it goes back to the intercept again. Being married makes me less likely to purchase a bike. Now, let's make this bold and let's give it a nice format. Here we go, %, give it a couple decimal places. That's more like it. So this is the likelihood that they will purchase a bike. All right, let's handle gender. This will be an easy one. Single married, we're going to do female, male. Back here, grab the weights. I believe female is 1 in this data set, so copy that. Paste this on here for female, values only. and then male will be 0. So same thing, we're going to come back here, and we're going to have another if statement, add to our running total here, another if this equals female, then this, otherwise that. Okay, oh, and as usual, I always forget that last parenthesis. Thank you. But what I haven't done yet is I need to put my drop-down box in here. So, data, validation, list, source, right here. Okay, let's put in female. So females are also less likely to buy bikes than males. All right, let's keep going. Income will be a little bit different here. I'm going to save as I go along. So with income, we have this really small number here. It's not a category like before. All I want them to do is enter a value here in the list. So I'm going to leave this blank, and then I'm simply going to say the prediction is going to equal this plus whatever value they put in here times the regression weight of income right there. Close that out, enter. So if I put in here 50,000, there we go, that adjusts my prediction. More money equals more likely to buy a bike. Now remember, you may have from our previous videos included like a squared term or a logarithmic term, some nonlinear transformation on income. That would be that variable. All I would do, it would have its own regression weight. I would simply do the exact same thing I just did, multiply out my value they put in here by whatever the regression weight is for that transformed coefficient. Anyway, let's grab children next. We can treat it the same as income. We could do some validation here and make sure they don't try to enter something stupid like 2.5, right? Some actual whole number. Let's not worry about that. Let's just do the same thing we did with income by saying we're going to add to this prediction whatever they put in here times the coefficient for children. There we go. So let's put some kids in there. That makes me less likely to buy a bike. All right. So commute distance. What have we got? Okay, let's include commute distance next here. Back to numeric. All right, commute distance, our options are, let's see, I think it's going to be easiest if we come over here. Where's commute distance? Here it is. All right, we want each of these. Does that cover all of them? No, 1 to 2. I think that's all my options. Oh, no. I take that back. What we're going to need, we used this numeric version of commute distance. So, there's a fourth option in here I'm not capturing. Well, that's fine. Let's start with this. So back here, let's paste our various options. Home, paste special, or paste values, that's what I want. This is the smallest one. Let's see, I'll move this one up here. Yeah, I got it. These are going to show up in our drop-down list in the order that we put them in, so I've got to make sure I put them in the right order. 2 to 5. I'm missing one that says 5 to 10. And then we got this one right here. Okay, so what we want is, let's go ahead and put in our drop-down. Data validation, list. Grab these. Okay. All right, we're going to build this one out a little bit differently. Let's pick one of these. Build the prediction down here differently. So what we're going to need is, I believe, I think the best thing would be a VLOOKUP. Let's come back. Well, no, not a VLOOKUP. Well, maybe. Yeah, all right, here's what we need. So I think we coded 0 to 1 as, let's find out. Here's commute distance. So 0 to 1 was the 1, and then, 1 through 5. So we need to come back here. We need to make our coding match what we used right here in our in our field. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we will actually use a VLOOKUP. Here's how I'll do this one. So plus, we're going to multiply the regression weight, which is for commute distance, which is this one right here, commute distance regression weight. And we're going to multiply that by the result of a VLOOKUP. Okay, tab, that's what I want. And we're going to need the lookup value, which will be this one. Then we need the table array, which is this right here. Then we need the column index number, which is going to be 2, meaning that we want to pull the value from this column right here. And then range lookup, I think we need false if I remember right. Oh yeah, I keep hitting enter, tab. Okay, I think that's what we need. Enter, oh, I think I've got, oh, missing a parenthesis, yes. Okay, I think that did it for us. So what it's doing here is it's taking the regression weight for commute distance and then multiplying it by the number right here so that we can show them a pretty drop-down box. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, I did the wrong thing. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, so I want to click on this and have these options show up, because if I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that doesn't make sense. Right? I don't realize that 5 means 10 plus miles. So I want to see this, but then multiply the corresponding number we used by the regression weight on the other page. Cool. All right, cars and age, this should work out just like income and children. That should be a quick and easy one because they're just going to enter in a number. So let's go here to our gigantic function and keep adding in here. So we're going to add to it cars multiplied by the regression weight for cars right here. Let's just keep going. Plus age, which will be right here, multiplied by the regression weight for age. Let's see how we're doing. Beautiful. Let's put in a car. Changes it. Age, let's say we're 50. All right, our prediction's not looking so good. Well, meaning that we're not going to buy a bike. So homeowner, this one I think we want just a simple yes, no. I'm going to delete this. This is in the way. So I'm going to put a yes or home or what should we do? Yeah, let's do a yes, no. That'll work. So let's go back to our homeowner. Numeric, here we go. This is our regression weight for one value of homeowner, meaning those who do own a home. So come and paste this one here, put a 0 for no. We're going to treat this just like we did with marital status. Put our cursor here. Data validation, change this to list. Grab our source, which is this yes, no. Enter, okay. And so let's pick yes, and then down here in our list, we're going to add to that an if statement. If, let's see, if this equals yes, then return that, otherwise return that. Oh, and as usual, I always forget my closing parenthesis. It adds it back in, we're good. Okay, let's change this to no. How does that change it? All right, so owning a home is good. Education. Now, education is not going to be like commute distance, because with commute distance, we used we converted that categorical variable, categorical meaning that we had text in here, this wasn't numeric, and we converted that to this ordinal variable right here. But with education, we treated it properly by creating dummy codes for the categories. So here's how this one will work. Let's actually copy that whole table, bring it back over here. I'm going to paste special so I don't bold, or paste values, I mean. Let's change this to, actually move this down, because we need to put in here partial high school, partial college, bachelor's, graduate, or probably bachelor, I don't know. All right, partial high school, because that was our reference dummy code, our reference category, that one is going to be a 0. So once again, we're going to use a VLOOKUP table, but this time we don't need to multiply it out by the regression weight like we did right here. we simply need a regular VLOOKUP table, and we'll include the coefficient for just from right here, depending on which value they have. So first of all, let's put in our options: data, validation, list. Here's our list. Okay, we got that. Let's put in something like high school. Next, right here, we're going to once again include another VLOOKUP. Do we need? I'm trying to decide if we need to put it in parentheses. I guess technically we don't, but all right. VLOOKUP. The value is going to be this value right here. Table array. This one right here. Column index is 2. We want to return the value from the second column. Range lookup false. There we go. High school. That really helps. That puts our prediction over 50%. I grab graduate, and that's a lower one, 2%. That takes it way down. Let's go back to high school. All right. Lastly, region. We treated like just like we did with education. So copy these two. We could use a VLOOKUP again. We don't have to. It's just a short 2-value option. So I'm just going to call this Europe Pacific, but then don't forget to add something for North America, which is our reference category. So we set that one to 0. Let's get rid of this stupid border here so it's consistent. There we go. All right, let's put in our drop down. Data, validation, list. All right, there. Oh, I forget, we have 3 values. Maybe we do want to VLOOKUP. Well, may as well. Okay, I'm going to hit OK. So last thing we got to add in one more VLOOKUP here. 3 values is kind of my litmus for switching from an if to a VLOOKUP. Lookup value right here. Table array right there. Column index, once again, 2. Range lookup false. What's our problem? Did I forget? Do I need a value here? Oh, yeah, I do. That's it. We now have our prediction. So what I would do next to make this looking fancy is I would hide this so it doesn't confuse anybody. We also don't want them changing things. All right, why can't I right click? There we go. Hide it. I'm going to call this my purchase bike prediction calculator. My super fancy calculator. Home. Merchant Center. Let's bold it. Give it a nice pretty under border. Okay, let's save this. So now I have a customer that comes in, or if I'm trying to decide whether or not to predict whether or not I should send a mailer or something like that to a customer, here I can fill this out. Now obviously, if this was a real scenario, I'm not going to go through and fill this form out for every single customer just to see what the prediction is down here. If you remember from a prior video in class, we could actually come and paste our predictions right down this table by including the coefficients and doing a sum product. However, where would this be useful? Often we'll have salespeople that are out in the field and they don't have access to some fancy high-end tool. We could build an app to do this as well, but what you could do is simply run this analysis, create this fancy little, this nice little calculator, send them just this sheet, and they've got everything they need right here. They don't even need any of this data. All you need are these regression weights from this table and this right here, and you can send them out, and maybe they're choosing outside sales calls to make. I've got an hour left in the day. Who should I go to? I can run 2 or 3 options through here, see which one has the best prediction, and go after that one. So prediction calculators are a quick and easy output to produce from running a regression analysis. That's it. Hope it all makes sense.